Okay, today is Sunday, July 12th, 2015. All right, we're looking at the color infrared loop for the East Pacific. And Dolores over here has strengthened to about 60 miles per hour. Uh, and it's also being hit with a transmitter. And tropical disturbance 6E has organized pretty well and has got some rotation. And it looks like it may be getting hit as well, but not anything like what we're seeing over here on Dolores. Let's go take a look at the water vapor loop, and we can see real clearly that Dolores has got all the attention right now. It's starting to get close to Cabo San Lucas, which is right there, and right behind this swirling tropical storm is a very, very large thunderstorm system. Now, take a look at what's happening right in the very core of that. You're going to see a couple of flashes right there. There's a couple of real brilliant flashes, and I think that those are hits from a laser. Okay, we saw this a couple of days ago. There was a large storm starting to take shape near Hawaii. It was actually spinning. There was a lot of rotation, and it was hit with some similar bright flashes. You can see it right there. There's a couple of them. There's right there. Let's get the pen out of the way. The camera will stay focused. Anyhow, the core of that thunderstorm right there is being hit with something like a laser beam right there. And I just wanted to point that out because these storms here, these very large thunderstorms, are going to slowly make their way into this rotation here, right here. And this is where the heat is being applied. So Dolores may not end up being anything more than a powerful tropical storm. We'll keep an eye on this. This here is the visible loop for the East Pacific. We can see the dry air right here where that transmitter is hitting it. And look over here. Look at that. Let's get the pen out of the way and watch what happens. Now, at some point in this loop here, we saw that flash, the laser beam, or something hit target that with a very brilliant flash. And it looks like right in the center there we see something right there, and then there's a big a plume of clouds or something that exits the center of that area radially all the way around. We see almost looks like a little shock wave. Okay, right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay, so that's interesting. If we go back to the we can see this in the infrared mode too. We can actually see those flashes right there in one of those frames. Each frame is a half hour, and so the whole loop is about 7.5 hours. All right. Okay, so let's go take a look at the National Hurricane Center. Dolores has been identified here as gaining strength. We've got 60-mile-an-hour winds, and then disturbance 6E is still 35-mile-per-hour winds, but it's getting more and more organized, as you can see. Now these two storms are pretty close together, so it's going to be interesting to watch the how the transmitters handle this. They've got, obviously this is the more powerful storm, and they're dealing with that full speed with, they've got the transmitter focused right there. But this thing here has gotten so big, and these bands of clouds are actually feeding this system. So we're going to get to see how much versatility they have with their transmitters, where they can point these things. We got a burst here, it looks like, We've got one here, obviously. Now let's go over here and look at the, this is the wide view of the East Pacific, Northeast Pacific. And here's that electronic wall right here. Look at this. And this is quite amazing. We've got a high pressure downburst here. We got some clockwise rotation. That's high pressure descending air right there. And this weather here is not joining up with this weather over here. We've got a very dry area here, and we've got this electronic wall that's been set up. And look at this weather here. It just runs right into this wall, and there is absolutely no joining up here of these two fronts, or rather weather systems. They're just basically shoulder to shoulder. There isn't any, except right at the very last frame, we see some merging of the two sides. Okay, this is interesting here because, as I've been saying, when they don't want these, they keep the weather from the southern area from mixing with the northern area, and they keep this flow here from merging with other weather, and so they use these techniques here to do that, to accomplish that. All right. Sorry about this camera drifting. I got to get a decent tripod for the for this smartphone. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the color infrared loop, and we don't see nearly the amount of detail what's going on here, but we do see the flash. This right there looks like that's being attacked by a laser. Look at that. That is amazing. So we'll probably see tomorrow, July 13th, those severe thunderstorms there along the coast will be pretty much squashed out, because otherwise what's going to happen is that this moisture here is just going to continue to feed this counterclockwise low pressure. That's what's going to happen. Unless they beat these down, then they will be able to beat this system and keep it from making landfall. Now this is awfully big. Look at the size of this this thing here. Well, of course, this is their downburst, okay, but still, that's a very large storm, and that is not something you want to be around here on Baja. That could be a real disaster. So anyway, that's it. They're hitting that. The storm out in Hawaii here, it looks like there's a something going on out here. It's got some rotation. Thunderstorm out here. Anyhow, we're just going to keep an eye on this, and we'll give you an update tomorrow. Okay, so that's it.